Rad report, rad report, rad report. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show here. It's not going to be a long one tonight. Things just keep happening in physical media, in the world of physical media. It's nuts. This wasn't my plan tonight. My plan was to come on here and unbox some stuff that Viavision sent me to check out. That was my plan tonight. But I just got home and now it's like I'm going to talk about Scream Factory again, Shout Factory, now Arrow Video. So there's a lot going on in the world of physical media that I felt like I had to kind of touch upon because I did do that show a couple days ago about this whole Scream Factory thing, kind of like before it really became a thing. I got a little like tip about it and I made the video, and it seems like things are just getting even weirder. You know, people are saying there's no big deal. Other people are saying it's doomsday for Scream Factory. Like, we don't really know, but all we know is that more weird stuff is happening. Um, and what I mean by that is that the first email I got basically said, I keep saying email, the first message or whatever I got basically said, Shout Studios is going to try to focus more on streaming next year, and they're going to start pulling away from physical media, mainly when it comes to the site store. They might shut down the store on the website. They did some layoffs. That's basically the gist of what that message said. Now, did that mean they were leaving physical media altogether? Not really. But what I see now is it does seem like what's probably happening, I think, is it just has to do with the store. Like, maybe they'll still put stuff out, but you'll have to buy it from third parties like an Amazon or even an Orbit or a Diabolic or even Walmart. Like, seems like that's probably where you're going to get your stuff. It seems to me that they're really trying to get rid of anything that has to do with the site and the exclusivity of the site. Because as we know, they're liquidating a lot of their stock, mainly the site exclusives, mainly the limited Blu-rays like Creepshow 3, which was only a site exclusive release. They're giving that away for $7.99. Abraxius, same thing. Venomous, these ones that were mainly for the site are like really cheap. The bundles, those were all site exclusives. That's the one that they're really trying to dump. They're trying to dump all of these ones that were considered website exclusives, which to me makes sense because if they're not going to do any kind of site anymore, then why have stock that was exclusive to site only, right? And today the plot thickens. Nobody's come out and said anything specifically about this, like, hey, this is Scream Factory, nothing to worry about, guys. We're just trying to, rehash our website, and maybe we're going to do a new design on the new 4Ks next year, and we're really just trying to get rid of some. They haven't said a word, and this sale is still technically a secret sale. It's cheaper than their Shocktober sale, which they did promote. So again, to not say anything and just kind of let things continue to go down in price is kind of weird. And not only that, but since the last time we spoke, more stuff has shown up on the site that wasn't there the first night that you and I checked the site out. Because I had people reach out to me and said, hey, I watched your show, but I just noticed there was a bunch of stuff on there and tonight that weren't on there when we looked at it the other night. And I went on, and sure enough, I ended up getting the Night of the Creeps 4K bundle with the figure and all that stuff because I wanted the figure. I didn't know if I wanted the 4K because I had the Blu-ray from them, which I felt like was just fine. But, you take an $80 bundle and you mark it down to $30. Yeah, I'll probably bite on it, which I did. So that was up there. There was something else too I grabbed that wasn't up there before because these things are selling out because they're so discounted. I missed Pumpkinhead. I wish I would have got that one. But they're selling. They're selling out. So good for Scream Factory for doing this in one sense because they are selling the product they wanted to sell. Holy shit. Now the figure's $9.99. What, standalone? Oh my, see what I mean? I just bought this. I mean, granted, it came with the 4K and the posters. I spent $30. Okay, so that's the figure plus a $20 4K. Fine. But the point is that figure wasn't on there by itself that night. So things are still changing. Things are still going down. I just got for $20 End of Days with 2 slipcovers and 2 posters. I don't need that stuff. But End of Days came out literally like 2 weeks ago or last week. And I didn't buy it. And now I did. But if you bought it standalone, it was $40. So it's wild that they're doing this. It still doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless there's something really drastic going on. Now, here's where the plot thickens. I got an email today, and here's what it reads. Okay. That email reads, Hello, Forever Club member. We wanted to let you know that the Physical Media Forever Club membership program will be coming to an end soon. As of today, we stopped issuing new credits. Please use any remaining credits by the end of October. After November 3rd, we'll be transitioning to a new way of issuing store credit. Any unused balance from your account will be reissued under this updated system. Your existing credits will not disappear, but the new store credit will follow different redemption rules. More details on how this will work will be shared after November. We recommend using the current credits as soon as possible for your best experience. Thank you for being part of Shout Factory community. Okay. Now, to some people, that's not that big of a deal. Okay, whatever. They're gonna change it. I'm gonna be able to use them differently. Yeah. But what if differently comes in the idea of a digital copy of a movie? Maybe you get access to their streaming service. I don't know. All I know is something else is changing. Something else is changing. It could be for the better. It could be for the worse. We don't really know. But things are definitely changing. Not that I've seen. No one's come out and denied these rumors because they must see it everywhere. People they're going out of business. I never said they were going out of business. I had a question mark. Are they in trouble? Are they shutting down? I never once said they're doing anything because I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. And they've never come out and said they weren't shutting down. They weren't getting rid of physical media. They weren't shifting everything to streaming. They weren't shutting the store down. They haven't said a word. So you'd think that if they weren't doing any of this stuff, they would have probably tried to say something to not get people in a panic. Or they're like, let's not say shit and see how much stuff we can sell before we tell people what's going on, which again, from a business standpoint is probably smart. I don't think anything's going to happen with Day of the Dead. If they totally aren't out of physical media altogether, Day of the Dead will probably be coming, just probably not on the website or any kind of exclusive bundles or anything. I will say this too. I received a message today from somebody who said there was an offer on the table from Scream Factory for physical media release that they contacted them back and kind of revoked it. Now, what that means, I don't know. It could mean they just weren't interested. It could mean more, right? But I guess there was an offer worked out on the table for something when it came to physical, and it seems like the offer got revoked as of, I think, this week. Now, could that be something? I don't know. I'm having other companies reaching out asking if I know anything because they had sold or they were about to sell stuff to Shout Factory. So again, there's definitely a story here. What the story is, no one really knows, but it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. And at the end of the day, like I said the first time I did this, I do not want Scream Factory to go anywhere. That is a hard hit on physical media collecting. That is a very hard hit on the physical media community. Scream Factory is not the Scream Factory or Shout Factory. I say Scream Factory because I'm thinking mostly horror, but they're not the same company they were years ago. They're not. We've seen this, but they're still doing great work with restorations on the 4Ks. I'll give them that. they never evolved, and I think that's what their biggest problem was. They were top dogs, and I think that they became comfortable as being top dogs. And then when these other companies started to build up, the Vinegar Syndromes, the TerraVisions, Arrow was always killing it. They've always been doing good. But Arrow started to come more to the US when Scream Factory came out, Arrow was UK only, right? So now they got Arrow to deal with over here in the States. A lot of companies are starting up, Red Shirt Pictures, like these companies that weren't there when Scream Factory were the kings, right? And I feel like in one way they wanted to stick to what was working. Hey, this is our design. We just do slip covers. This is it. Maybe every once in a while we'll do steel books. We do the posters, and then these other companies are coming out with these fancy box editions and the collectors are saying, wow, these are cool and neat. And they dabbled in trying to do that with the hard boxes and they really pulled back for some reason. I thought for sure the hard boxes like we got on the Halloweens was going to be what they were going to do for all their 4Ks, which I do think they probably should have. But they did a couple and they pulled away and then went back to their old way. So again, maybe all this is to get rid of stock so they can evolve and do some things differently. I don't know. But I do think that, you can kind of see a little bit of the writing on the wall with some of these decisions that were made. If anything is changing for the worse, it would be the end of an era. It would feel like Anchor Bay to me. It would feel like the end of an era, the way Anchor Bay was towards the end. And they were kind of getting bought out by Lionsgate. And then they were kind of disappearing slowly. And it would really make me feel like this was the next Anchor Bay Entertainment. So I hope it's not for the worst, but it doesn't feel good. It feels good to get these movies at a discounted price, yes. And I'm sure all these movies will eventually, or the big ones will eventually go somewhere else, and there'll be a new 4K, and everybody will buy it all again. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. But that's the news when it comes to the Scream Factory side of it. Not that great right now. But then you look at the other end of the spectrum, and what news came out? It was the news about Arrow Video and Halloween. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I knew about this yesterday when I was doing my Halloween show. And I was going to talk about it, but it was a weird situation. I was sent something yesterday morning about this. And when I clicked on it to read more, the post had been taken down. So the person that sent it to me said to me, here's what it said. And it said, Arrow Video is going to be doing a 4K restoration of Halloween. And as of right now, you're going to be able to get it on digital and streaming and all this stuff. I think it was like Apple TV or something. But they said it's definitely newsworthy, with a full restoration. I'm sure it probably means a physical media releases in tow. But it was taken down, so I didn't want to bring it up on the show because as of that point, I had worked all day, so I didn't know if it got reposted again. All I knew was I saw it. We talked about it briefly. I clicked on it to get more info. The post was gone. And then I guess maybe later that night it came back, or this morning or something like that, it came back. So that's why I didn't mention it yesterday. But it seems like it was true that there is going to be a restoration that Arrow did for Halloween, which is great news. Now then it becomes, well, what happens with the physical media? Is there one? As of right now, there isn't. I guarantee there's one coming. And I say that because why go through all the trouble of going through a full restoration of a movie like Halloween and only have the streaming rights? I have a 4K of Halloween from Scream Factory. I have 2 from Lionsgate. But there is one coming from Imprint for Australia. Now, you know how things work over here. It's either it's either they got a license to do it here, but I think this is probably going to be a UK release because licensing is different there. But I'm excited. I would definitely be interested in a 4K Halloween with a brand new restoration from Arrow. And I say this all the time, in one end of my mouth, I'm saying I'm not double dipping anymore. But then the other side, I'm like, I have 3 4Ks of Halloween and I'd buy a new one, right? It's weirdness. It's weirdness. And I get it. I understand. But I think with Halloween, it's just one of those movies where, when you get a new restoration, a part of you is saying, wow, I wonder if it's going to feel different than these last editions. Wonder if something's going to be different. Maybe they did something different. Maybe there's a color change somewhere. Maybe there's so much to it. And what I really do think I would be most excited for is I love the box set. I love all the 4Ks from Scream Factory housed together. I love it. But for a movie like Halloween, it's never really had that edition that you feel like you got from Anchor Bay back in the day. Something special. It never got that thick boy box set, on Blu-ray or on 4K. And you can say the Blu-ray Anchor Bay did that came in that mask set was really cool. It's actually right there that you can see. That's a Blu-ray set, but it does come with other editions. I think 4 and 5 are in there as well. But nothing since, like no 4K. I have a 4K Steelbook. The artwork's not great on it. But how cool would it be to get a nice chunky box from Arrow? I would think I posted an image on my thumbnail of just a mock-up like Thing mashup image. I just threw that together. But I would say I would love a nice black thick box with the pumpkin logo in the front, just as Halloween has the little arrow rainbow at the bottom. I think that would look slick. But the spine, Halloween and orange down the side, that would look sick. Now, what I'm most excited about, if this does become a physical release, is all the stuff that they could add. There's still so many extras for this movie out there. There is. And anything that the Anchor Bay had done in the past that never got ported over, I think 25 Years of Terror, all that kind of stuff, now's an opportunity to get everything that we wanted from all these editions that never ported over to port over on this release. You could throw in the television cut on 4K as well. I mean, there's so much you could do here to make this kind of the end-all be-all Halloween set. Now, do I think we're going to get a box set of all the movies from Arrow? No, I don't. Never say never, but talking to Michael Slipcase Felcher, the owner of Red Shirt Pictures, he worked for Anchor Bay as well. He helped on the Halloween releases. I'm actually going to be talking to him tomorrow here, which, again, this is what he said to me, is that the undertaking it took for Scream Factory to put that Blu-ray box set out with all the Halloweens at that point in one box was grueling. And he said that's why that box set's always going to be special. He doesn't think that could probably ever happen again. Now, again, maybe it does, but that's a lot of licensing. And now you've got the 3 new movies as well. So to me, I think they're really going to, if this happens, it's going to be a nice UK, hopefully end all be all box set for the original movie and just give us everything we've wanted. Now, again, that's asking a lot, but I think there's opportunity there. And I think it's pretty cool because it's Halloween. I wouldn't be saying this about many other movies, to be honest with you. I think Halloween is just a glorified classic that deserves kind of that end all be all definitive edition in your collection, similar to something like what we got with Jaws and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, so in one aspect, that's kind of good news. And I'm not saying it's a definite. I'm saying that's just what it seems based on the idea that I don't think they would have put in all the work on a transfer or restoration for something that they're just going to show digitally. I just don't think that they would have spent that time doing that. But that's kind of the news, guys. Right now that has kind of flooded into the community, into the space. And I'm sure you're going to have everybody talking about this stuff, but I wanted to do a follow-up on the Scream Factory thing just because, again, I did see the email about the club reward points. Thought that was a little bit weird. The changes of all the prices, them adding new stuff every day on the site seems super weird. And I just wanted to touch upon the Halloween 4K thing because, like I said, I was going to bring it up last night, but I didn't know if that information I got yesterday morning was like bullshit. So I didn't want to like start something that wasn't anything. So, but yeah, that's what I want to talk to talk to you about tonight. I'll say what's up to the chat really quick. Like I said, I was supposed to do a Viavision video tonight. I will do that pretty soon, and I will be out of town at Chiller Theater in New Jersey. Chill Out in New Jersey. If anybody's heading down to New Jersey this weekend for that convention war, if you see me, definitely come say what's up. Let me know who's in the house right now. Let's chat. I'll hang around here for probably another 10 minutes. Let's chat. Let's answer some questions and see what's going on. Warner Brothers is up for sale. I kind of heard about that. Something was Paramount interested or something, which is super interesting. I mean, that could lead to a lot. All right. What's up, Will? Ken Carlson. Hopefully Arrow's Halloween will have 3 to 4 hours. I'm hoping there's outtakes, and I'm sure Sean Clark has them. Time to get rad. Hey, yo, what's up, 80s? Rad Report. What up, Chris? What up? What up? We need a Michael Myers mask ranking. I kind of gave one last night, sort of. I told you which movies I liked the mask versus movies I didn't like the mask. Let's see. Thanks, man. I like doing lives. I just don't know how good they do as far as how many people like to watch them. Because again, with lives, you're getting the news, but you're getting interactions. You're getting a longer countdown intro. I mean, I don't know if some people like that or if they just want to get in, get out. So that's why I kind of kept this for the end. It is happening very fast. It's happening very fast over there. Yeah, you know what? Adding to existing order would have been ideal, especially if they were going to be messing with this, because that does suck when you buy all this stuff and then you're like, oh, there's one more I want. And you order it and then you got to pay $7. That sucks. It is child's play, baby. What up? What up? What up? Mine hasn't shipped either. I have a feeling they're not going to ship for a little bit because I'm sure they're getting bombarded right now. So I'm sure they're not rushing these orders out like normal. Yeah, Jeff and Cliff left. Yeah. Because Jeff left out into the 3, also new owner Jeff Rowland. He is working at Screenplay. Oh yeah, I mean you had to. You had to. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe this just becomes more of like, hey, we're just going to sell it to third parties. Just to be able to get it. Sawbones. Yeah, like that was Sawbones was like an exclusive, site only exclusive, $2. If you would have bought it the day it came out, it was 30. I agree. They should have done that, to be honest. They should have done that. Brody's a huge Creepshow 3 like fan. This guy is an advocate. I don't know. What up, man? He said, what's up? Order something with Scream Factory, Haunting of Julia, $10. Yeah, I agree. I hope they don't go out of business either. I've been shopping from them since the day they came out. Yeah. What up, Antanas? I can't believe that figure's down to $9.99. What the hell? It's like that was like yesterday I got that. I bought Sawbones for $2.99. I have no idea if it's good or not. I've never seen it. I agree. I really do. It was kind of a dick move to do the Shout Factory, the Shocktober sale, and then just like once it ended, we'll go into this. Unless news came quickly and they had to make changes. I mean, maybe something came through their email Wednesday morning and said, we're making changes, like, I don't know. I agree. They should. 25 for those sleepaway camps. Jump on those. Oh, what's this? Dead Ringer says, another weird thing. Hold on. Excuse me. Another weird thing that happened to me today. Out of nowhere, I got an email saying that I was refunded my entire $250 October sale because they forgot to include my free gift tote bag. So, so what? They didn't include your gift, so they refunded you $250? Are they still sending you your stuff? What? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like everybody's jumping on these releases now, but keep in mind, if a new 4K of something else comes out, then you might want that instead. But I say Scream Factory 4K restorations are very, very good. I know they are supposed to utilize their streaming more going forward. Now, is that going to replace physical media? I don't know that, but I do know they want to focus a lot on that. It could be right from a business standpoint, Movie Hunter. You could be right. They did merge with another company, and the investors could liquidate, and they will assess the company's structure. That could be exactly it. Yep, Amazon's got good prices too, guys. Price match. Maybe it'll be that tomorrow. McHar says all the boutique labels are starting to hit the end of the road. How many more special features can 80s flicks an 8-disc version of how to Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from that standpoint, it is going to be a little bit tougher going forward, right? Because these exact reasons, like they're going to run out of things to talk about, things to do. But there's still a lot of stuff that they haven't put out yet. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be an Arrow Halloween. Now, it seems to me that it's probably going to be a UK release. Now, they haven't confirmed that it's going to be a physical media release. They just confirmed that they did their own 4K restoration on Halloween, and they're going to put it on, I think, Apple TV. I think that's what it said. But I'm sure that there will be a physical in the future, but I don't think it's going to be here in the States. It might be a UK release. It might be a US release. I just know that they would have to jump through hoops to get that license. That's all. And that's kind of what's going to happen, man. That's kind of what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Arrow does Halloween and everybody's like, yeah, the definitive edition, and then all of a sudden in 2 years, Second Sight's like, we're doing Halloween. Like, are we all going to buy it again? I don't know. I don't. But I mean, I would rather have that Arrow one than fork the money over for that pumpkin set from Viavision. The zombie films still don't have a 4K, correct? I agree. If they do leave the business, it'll definitely hurt the business 100%. Scream Factory dropped the prices on Halloween 4Ks, and all of them have been pulled off the website except for the originals. That's interesting. I did not know that. Again, that could be correct too. That could be correct too. If these companies start doing more editions like this, they gotta find the people that have the goods. If Sean Clark has 3 or 4 hours of the original Halloween outtakes, somebody needs to contact him. That's the difference. Like, some of these companies that are redoing half of these movies, they're giving us the same discs. Like, for instance, Second Sight that's doing the Reanimator set, like, there's not going to be anything new on there, right? So, like, what the hell's the point? A new box? Like, it's silliness. So, yeah, like I said with the Sleepaway Camp 4Ks, they messed up when they didn't contact somebody for all the additional cuts of the movie. There was somebody else I just talked to. Who else did I talk to about that? Oh, Greg Nicotero. He's like, I have so much extra stuff for Spawn that they never asked me for. And I brought it up to him, and they said, oh, sorry, we're on a time crunch. Which means now, we're going to wait for somebody else to do Spawn 5 years down the road, and he's going to give them all this new stuff, and we're going to buy it again. Like that's what's crazy. Like you'd figure they'd go to the sources when they're putting something out and say, "Give me everything you got. We're going to make a definitive edition here." I agree. The Scream Factory Halloween box is still one of the best. Um, I think they're being announced either on Halloween or this Friday. Now, do I think Halloween's going to be in there? No, probably not. But I'm curious to see what is. So you didn't get the email about the collectors club or whatever? What up, Broke Boogie? We're just talking about more Scream Factory news that they're canceling like the forever physical clubs on their website, and Arrow Video is going to be doing something with Halloween. What up, Vander? What up, dude? What up, MAGA? Oh, here we go. A guy. Okay, let's see what this says. The guy who has the alternate takes B footage for Halloween isn't letting it go. He wants to get paid, and no one wants to pay when he's asking. Never say never, but I believe most of what this guy says here. The little voice. The little voice told me. But I would say it doesn't hurt to try. Am I going to meet Rhea Ripley at Jey Uso November 9th? I would love to. I wasn't planning on it, but I would love to. I have to check because I am supposed to be at Rhode Island Comic Con, and I'm not sure if that's that weekend. I feel like that's the same weekend. I did not pre-order Descent. No. Skyline is $9. I've never seen it. I don't. I don't know what Scream Factory's website's going to look like come November, so I wouldn't hold my breath. Yeah, it wasn't just Scream Factory. That's just me being the horror fan. I haven't really paid attention besides like the Alf set and stuff. So you're right. Shout Factory's on sale too. I just keep saying Scream Factory because I buy more Scream stuff than I do Shout. So that's just my bad. You guys bought a lot of stuff. Yeah, good question. I don't know why there's no standalone remake of the Stranger Calls remake. What up, dude? Wait, what? They refunded you $250 because they forgot to send you your gift and sent you your product? What? Oh, good job. What's up, Piz? Say what's up to Piz. Go check him out. He just liquidated all his Scream Factory member credits. So smart man. Smart man. He did it before the date that they told him to, so he knows what he's doing. Should there be? I don't know. Let me see. Oh, I know the rights are different. I understand that. Streaming rights and physical rights, sure. But I also think that it could be telling because that's a lot of work that they put into it. So we will see. I don't think it's something that's going to come out now. I don't think it's going to be announced for a little while. We will see because Scream Factory or Shout Factory they've been streaming a nice edition of Electric Dreams for like 2 years, and I thought to myself, "Oh, that's definitely going to be coming out soon." Nah, it hasn't had any physical release yet. So again, you're right. It's very different. They're doing the streaming thing first. Now, does that mean there's not going to be a physical later? Who knows? Who knows? I think there will be, but I don't think it's going to be for a bit. Exactly. I didn't buy the damn pumpkin, bro. Come on. I didn't buy the pumpkin. Well, I know it's for Region B technically, but it's still available here. That's what I'm saying. So I get it. For them, it's fine, but at the same time, it's still being advertised and sold here. So yeah, I guess it's basically like don't ask permission, ask for forgiveness, right? Um, I think so. If they can make it happen, sure. I think they'll put a little more TLC into it because you got to remember. Oh, are we talking about the Blu-ray? Sorry, I'm thinking about the 4Ks. They didn't come in a real box. Um, the problem I think that they're going to find that they're going to have is like you saw with the 4Ks, right? Like they couldn't release them as a box set anymore. They could only release 6 H2O and Resurrection together because of what Miramax. And then you got Rob Zombie's stuff kind of by itself. So like there's a lot of hoops they got to jump through to get them all in the same box. But if they ever did, I'm sure it would be killer. I'm sure it would be killer. $100%. 100%. So some people got the email, some people didn't. I would say no, that's not a good deal. 30 at this point, you could probably do better. A few people are dealing with him and it's never worked out. He feels entitled because he saved the stuff from being tossed. Malik doesn't want to pay him. Yeah. I mean, how sad is that to have this and be that stubborn to not let the fans see it and not just taking whatever you can get? Yeah, same thing he's saying. What I was told is Malik Akkad would have to be involved releasing that new Halloween B footage and alternate takes, and he has zero interest. I heard that Prom Night was a standalone remake. Depends on which one we're talking about. Yeah, man, like it is crazy to think about that. You buy like what 10 movies from Vinegar Syndrome and you're paying that. Let's see. It could be his dad. Could be. Maybe his uncle. I think his uncle. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get through some of this stuff. All right, guys, you guys, let me see. I know someone who has the footage and lost ending from Dawn of the Dead. It's the same situation. Rubenstein doesn't feel okay. Yeah, it's a mess. A mess. It's craziness. It sucks because again, the only people that give a shit about it are the fans, right? So what's one guy going to be like? It's mine, it's mine, it's all mine, and not give it to the people or show the people that actually give a shit about it. And that's the sad part. And that's kind of like anything else. It all comes down to money. But I didn't want to be on here long, guys. We got a show we're going to record tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to come live or not. If we get any kind of new scoops or updates or something, maybe we'll do something later tomorrow night. But you will get content from me this weekend, even though I will be away. And then don't forget, a week from tomorrow, we're going to be doing Slippy's, Michael Slipcase Felcher's Halloween ranking. And you guys need to all be here because that is always the funnest show to do. Get Slippy going. But guys, again, let's hope for the best here. Let's keep our eyes and ears open to further news regarding this Scream Factory situation, the Shout Factory situation, even the Halloween situation with Arrow Video. It's all kind of bad news, good news. We'll see what happens. But guys, thank you as always so much. Hit that like button, hit that hype button, subscribe if you're not to the channel, and most of all, keep staying.